Right guys, this video is about perpetrators of abuse, problems we got with definitions and where perpetrators are, more specifically sex abuse, okay? This video might confuse the shit out of some people, but it might clear things up for other people, okay? And if it does confuse the shit out of you, good. Because it is a complex issue, all right? And that is the whole point here. It's far too complex to be generalising against, right? Especially with this legislation. But the whole point of this video is because I want to shed some light on where the perpetrators are, who they are, things like that, guys. Like, it's really important. And I hope it appeals to teachers more than anything, you know, because it's those are the people we need to get on side. So first of all, I'm going to start with saying there's a difference between a paedophile and a sex attacker, okay, guys? Now, a paedophile is somebody who is sexually attracted to children. Now, a paedophile doesn't always offend, okay? So you need to understand now, you've got this group of people here who are paedophiles, right? Some offend and some don't. You've got to remember that, guys. Okay, that is a really important point. And then what you got on this side, then you've got the sex attackers, right? Now, not all people who sexually abuse children are paedophiles either. Because what you find with sex attackers is, right, they are looking for vulnerability, okay? So they would have attacked whether it was a female, male, or a child, okay? So they are just sex attackers who aren't necessarily attracted to children. They're just a danger to anyone that's vulnerable anyway, okay? Also, then we've got the laws of consent, right? Consensual sex. So that is age 16, guys, okay? But what you need to understand is, in this country, people are considered a child under the age of 18. And that's where you get the definition of child sexual exploitation then, okay? So that will cover from the age of consent to adulthood, sometimes further, right? So this is another complex issue here, guys. It's not as simple as consenting, all right? Because there's complications, and this is what you all need to understand now, how complicated it gets, right? So I want to talk now about the magnitude of abuse in this country, and magnitude of abuse anyway, okay? There is no one group of people, guys. There is not one single group of people who are paedophiles. They are everywhere. I have had paedophiles in my living room. I don't know who, I don't know when, but I know for a fact I have had paedophiles in my living room, okay? That's a fact. A lot of us have had paedophiles brushing their teeth in our sink. That's a fact, okay? These people, that is very rarely a stranger danger, okay? We teach our kids about stranger danger. Guys, that's rare, all right? When children are abused, it's usually by somebody they know and somebody they trust, okay? I just want to point out, guys, like the magnitude of abusers now. Like I said, they're in our living rooms. They are everywhere, okay? But where there's children, there'll be more paedophiles. So I want to shine a little bit of light now. So let's just take the schools for argument's sake. How often do we get a conviction? While a current conviction, so a teacher sentenced for abusing a child during that time. Very, very rare, guys, okay? And there's more problems with that again. There's actual disclosure. So disclosure means actually telling someone it happened. There's massive barriers to disclosure, okay? So not a lot of children tell for a start. Then there is people that don't believe them, right? They're victimised time and time again. Then the police is getting it past CPS, Crown Prosecution Service. A lot of the times with the Crown Prosecution Service, they say this person's not a credible witness. They're not a credible witness because the drugs, alcohol, reckless behaviour, which is a direct result of abuse, okay? What we find is these are historical cases. So what you'll find is, guys, right, what's happening today doesn't come out today, okay? Sometimes it never, ever comes out. But when it does come out, it's usually in a couple of decades' time for a different reason, all right? These are hidden crimes. Do not think people in your staff room are all good people, because they are not, guys, all right? They are not, and you are never going to spot a paedophile. You are never going to spot a sex attacker, right? They do not come with flashing lights around their head. I could be one. You don't know. Nobody knows, okay? Nobody knows until they are actually caught. And this is why you have to be cautious, guys. You have to be suspicious of everyone. How many young girls do we know have sexual relationships with their stepfathers? An awful lot, guys, okay? And this is what causes problems for us. And then we've got the issue of consent again there. These teenagers think they're in love with their stepfathers. And I'm very sorry for using the term male. Anyone that knows me knows I'm a big, massive believer in there's more female perpetrators than male perpetrators anyway, okay? And you lot might think this is very rare. It's not rare. in actual fact, it's reported far less, okay? Because they cannot accept, the brain cannot accept that a woman would do that to them, right? And a lot of the time as well, it's the mother with the sons. And again, when the mother abuses the child, it's not uncommon for the grandmother to be involved as well, all right, guys? So these are things you all need to be aware of, okay? I just say, when I was doing my degree, there was a 3-year degree, okay? In that 3 years, something that came across was an online paedophile ring, okay? During that 3 years, a massive online paedophile ring, family man. There was another one then, another family friend who they'd gone on holidays with, later found out he'd been raping the daughters. And then there was somebody from Cairo. Obviously, I'm not going to mention names. Everybody knows, okay? So if those 3 things happened in that short space of 3 years, okay, that I know about, guys, I've told you the problems we get as well, like the convictions and things like that. This is a massive issue, guys. It's a huge issue, and people need to realise now what's going on. Like I said, you're not going to know who it is. All right? So this is it now, guys. This is what we need to bring to the forefront here, is the fact of, right, like Adele likes to work with statistics of children, okay? She likes to look for the lost statistics of abused children. I don't do that because I already know the magnitude of it, right? My research is so in-depth, right? The figure of abused kids is incredible, all right? They're never going to get it bang on. It's always going to be a guesstimate, and the guesstimates only come from reported and recorded incidents, right? Which is nowhere near the magnitude of it. But what I want to look at, guys, what I like to look at is, right, these children aren't abusing themselves, okay? They are not abusing themselves. So I'll just use an old Met police officer statistic, right? I don't agree with these statistics anyway, but we'll use his, right? 1 in 10 children are being abused. So if 1 in 10 children are being abused, guys, 1 in 10 adults are abusers, right? You could say that. But then you get people that's abused by 3 or 4 people, so you could multiply that. But then you get the one perpetrator that rapes hundreds of kids in their lifetime. Now, guys, this isn't a one crime, okay? This isn't a one moment crime. And you could have things like, all right, and I'll use myself, for example, again. I could be babysitting for you 3 days a week, okay? And during those 3 days a week, I only get 2 hours with you, a child, on my own. Now, I could be abusing you, a child, in that 2 hours and I'm on my own with them. Am I an abuser full time? No, I am not. Do I abuse your child every minute it's in my care? No, I do not. That is my opportunity. That's my 2 hours, and that's where I've groomed your child, and that's where I get my gratification from, okay? Part of the process as well, guys, the buzz is in getting the parents out of the way, you know. It is all a process. Even drug addicts will tell you it's not just taking the drugs that's the buzz. It's the process of obtaining the money and the process of scoring, right? I just want to highlight to you guys the magnitude of what is going on in this country, and you're never going to know. You are never going to know, guys. You're never going to understand it. It could be your wife, it could be your husband, it could be your brother, it could be your sister, it could be your best friend in work. Right, guys? You need to be suspicious of everyone, okay? If you're not suspicious of everyone, or you believe this is not happening around you, you're not looking hard enough, all right? And now these problems are not going to go away. We've got to focus on them. So, guys, please don't get defensive with these statistics, because they are facts, right? And these statistics are there for a reason, and you need to know them because you can't protect children otherwise, right? So stop getting defensive. Take what I say as fact, and you can research everything I say as well. I won't say nothing unless it's a flying fact, okay? But yeah, guys, we need to be suspicious now, right? This is not an attack on certain people. You need to understand that where you work, paedophiles will congregate. So I'm going to go back to the sex education issue, right? 68% of teachers don't want to teach it, right? So what if you guys now, that's almost 70%, right? That's a massive part of the workforce. Now, we do know a massive proportion of paedophiles are in schools anyway, right? Because it's where they congregate. So what's going to happen when you don't want to teach it, guys, and you leave your jobs? Who's going to fill these jobs, right? Now, we don't want to lose you good teachers. We don't want you to be in this position where you've got to leave the profession you love because of the changes, right? All you've got to do is investigate this, guys. And you've got to say, no, because this is protecting you a job. If you think if you are this lovely teacher, right, and I've seen loads, Especially you primary school teachers, you treat the whole class as your kids. You call them your kids. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. I'm a mother, you know. You need to realise now, guys, you are not going to have a job in 5 years. If you're not prepared to teach this, you are not going to have a job, all right? So this isn't just child protection. This is livelihood protection. This is protecting your profession, all right, guys? So this is what we all need to realise now, and we all need to come forward together. It's about educating the entire country now, guys, right? Because how can you know things? How can you respond at your best if you haven't got the best knowledge and you haven't got the best training and you haven't been given the best information? It's impossible, right? So this is what it's about now, guys. It's about educating the entire country and coming together on a child protection issue, all right? I'm really sorry that's a bit long-winded, but I just want everyone to get educated, and I want everyone on side, and I want everyone to fight this, guys, right? Because this is a child protection issue, and it's a country issue, okay? It takes a village to raise a child, but it takes an entire country to keep them safe.